Welcome to The Interest. I'm Sarah Wolak. Happy Monday. Today we have Bill Bodnar's latest market commentary in Master the Markets, and later our own Andrew Berman and Vince Valvo will duke it out in Cage Match. But first, a new NMP series of mortgage origin stories features a man who began a new career as an MLO at the age of 60. Here's the story.
My wife told me at one point that she counted that there were 11 doctors in there looking at me all at once, at one time. They apparently don't have this happen very often. I do remember that they came in and asked me at one point, have you eaten any soft cheeses lately?
Listeria encephalitis altered his facial appearance, but it hasn't slowed down this newly licensed loan officer. Industry professionals and borrowers in Cincinnati, meet Trip Topken.
I'll be real honest with you. I wasn't too confident that I was going to, A, do well, and B, not scare people. So I really didn't know what to expect when first meeting with people.
The week he started on the job happened to be the week the National Real Estate Investors Association was holding its annual conference. Topken had invested in real estate in the late 1990s, so this is where he found his niche.
And I went to the conference and met several people that were interested in doing loans. And I thought, well, good grief, I've been a real estate investor in the past. I know the general vibe, if you will, of the investor culture. I can do this. This will be great.
Although he was cautioned against getting into the mortgage industry during a down market, Topken is enthusiastic about his new career, and it shows with everyone he meets.
He's very knowledgeable. He understands the process. He definitely has the personality, and he's a go-getter.
Doctors say Topken could still get full movement back in his facial muscles, but whether or not that happens, he hopes his tale of overcoming adversity inspires others to keep pushing ahead even through tough times.
But eventually, the light bulbs all go on, and you'll see what you need to see, what you need to know will become apparent.
For more mortgage origin stories, visit nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Sarah Wolak.
We all dream of owning a home, but for too long, if you didn't fit the mold, you were stuck. Stuck because the system worked for everyone except you. We've changed that. Angel AI uses advanced AI technology to give a 100% trusted solution and fast answers for worry-free financing, allowing you to achieve fair and equal access to lending. Angel AI. AI you can bank on.
Hey friends, thanks for tuning in to our Master the Market segment. So one thing we learned last week, the jobs report is unpredictable, right? This was a tale of two jobs reports. The headline number came in, 272,000 jobs created, knocked the cover off the ball. No one on the planet forecasted a number that high. Yet when you look into the household survey, it showed we actually lost 400,000 jobs and 250,000 people left the labor force, and the unemployment rate ticked up to 4% for the first time in a while. So after it was all done, the bond market didn't know what to do. But what we can tell you here at Mortgage Market Guide, it did not show unexpected weakness, quote unquote, because that was what was Fed Chair Powell was looking for to potentially bring forward a rate cut. Said, hey, there's no appetite to cut rates unless we get unexpected weakness. That wasn't in the report. So now we get to this week. And this week, it's going to be a big one. It's about inflation on Wednesday. We have the Fed meeting, and then we have Treasury auctions all week. So Wednesday is going to be unbelievable. It kind of reminds me of where we were on April 10th, where the market just got hurt with all that news. So listen, you got to be careful out there. And you have to watch 450 on the 10-year note and 435. That's the range we're in right now. Have a great week, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye for now.
Okay, so Vince, we've had this conversation before, but I kind of feel like, when we talked about that
I won
broker,
too much, and you have to come back again and one more shot at trying to actually win this.
That you tried to drown me out actually with your attempts to make a point mortgage broker, the definition of a mortgage broker. So now I'm going to...
You want to revisit this whole thing.
Yeah.
What is a mortgage broker? Go ahead.
Let's read
prompting you today?
the CFPB's definition of a mortgage broker. It defines a mortgage broker as a person who acts as an intermediary between a borrower and a lender in a financially regulated mortgage transaction, not an employee of the lender. Yeah. So that's what the actual definition of a broker is. Right. Now, you have actually some different definition, an arbitrary definition of what a broker is. Tell the audience of what your definition of a broker is.
Hey, listen, why don't you trot out Merriam-Webster like most hacks do when they're trying to write something and can't put it in their own words.
I did.
Here's the thing. I have never argued that legally that's not a broker. But what I've said is that the notion of why a consumer comes to a broker is that the broker is supposed to represent multiple opportunities for that consumer so they can present the best options to the consumer. Not decide before the consumer ever shows up that only this one company or this one or two companies alone.
Wait, says so. Where does this actually, if
all they're going to do is present one or two people.
Or one. Let's say, so I'm acting as an application taker for this lender. I mean, that's what a broker is.
I'll tell you what, you should
credit to Alan Middleman for coming up with that one.
You should take a look at, social media. Some of the accounts that brokers go into. All the ones who say brokers are better, right?
That's different.
They come in there and they say
their rhetoric is saying we choose from all these lenders. That's very different.
They say brokers are better. That's why they do it. And when retail,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the core of what
originators
a broker is.
Look at and say, I'm thinking of coming over to the broker side. I'm going to leave the retail thing, go to the broker side. Should I? The constant refrain is, yes, you should, because on the retail side, you only get to show, a small collection of loan programs because it's only what that lender is offering. Where you go to the broker side and you can offer more, and that's better for the consumers. Until you get to the broker side at some brokers, and they go, oh, that's great. We're only offering from this one lender or this one lender and a couple little programs over here just to make it look like we're not captive. I don't think that is broker in spirit versus broker under the law.
Vince, okay, help me with this. Do you use cruise control in your car?
No, I do not.
Okay, why not? It's there. It's one of the options. Okay, but it's there. It's an option. It's one of the things. And having the ability to choose, having the optionality is your option. You have as a mortgage broker. It is not built into the core of a definition of a mortgage broker is. It might be your perception, and some people well, why would you not use cruise control? Why, if I'm going to drive at 65 miles an hour on the highway, why would I not use cruise control?
I really think I think that's the dumbest analogy I've ever heard.
Oh God!
Because the thing is, the person getting into the car with you, right, might like cruise control, might want you to use cruise control.
Like the passenger?
You know why? Yeah, the passenger. You know why? Because I am the driver are bringing somebody somewhere. That's what I'm doing at this point. If I get in the car and I want to drive the car, but the passenger might say, do you have cruise control in there because we're going on a long ride, and I worry if you get a little, you're weaving a little bit here.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
So notion isn't what does the broker offer, it's what does the consumer expect. Does the consumer going to a broker expect that they are going
this is the worst
given
analogy.
You don't think a consumer expects a broker to be able to look at multiple companies.
If it's part of their marketing, if it's part of their messaging, then
if they went to, useabroker.com, brokersarebetter.com, any sites, if they did any Google, why should I use a broker? And any of the stuff came up. And the AI thing that comes up.
It depends what the messaging is.
I'll bet if you put on there, why should I use a mortgage broker? And you put that into your thing instead of the CFPB legal definition, you're going to get because of choice. And
okay, let's see this.
If it's not because of choice.
Hey Siri, why should I use a mortgage broker? A mortgage broker can help navigate the process and help land the best rate. Okay, that's what it's saying, and it can help. It's not saying it's going to from many different lenders. The mortgage broker is an intermediary, and the mortgage broker is really an application taker for that lender. That's what they're doing.
Go to a bank. If you're a consumer, just go to a bank. It's easy. You know why? Because they're right down the street. You've already got your checking account with them. Just go to the bank. You don't need to go to a mortgage broker. I can't believe that you are actually advocating this stance where you have been Mr. Mortgage Broker, Mr. LO.
I wouldn't
the
do
whole
it.
way.
This is not for me. I'm just saying, let's get to the definition of what a mortgage broker is. And the definition of what a mortgage broker is an intermediary. And I call winner on this one. Thank you.
You're going to hell, Mr. Berman. That's where Satan has got you now.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.